It's my fault.
Okay, why is it still? Because she saw your social media presence?
No, she knew all about that. She was helping me. She started consulting me and telling me what I
Really?
should, yeah, what I should delete, what I should remove, make this private, etc. So it all, I took her advice because, uh, I'm open to people who want to advise me, and give me
Mm-hmm.
good advice. Most people don't even want to talk to me, so I'm just being facetious. But we're gonna do a quick meditation, and then I have to do some legal paperwork and make some
Okay.
submissions and phone calls. But I think pretty good. I just have a lot of work I have to do, a lot of paperwork and legal research. Um,
Mm.
it's pretty crazy what I'm doing, like in the uh, what's called the Illinois election courts, because there's subpoenas and petition. Like there's all kinds of documents that I have to draft because a lot of my documents will just be ignored, but I'm posting them to social media for posterity. My friend has arrived. My
My
friend.
friend!
I was thinking about you this morning because I remember hearing you read the Tao Te Ching, and you're like, the name of the eternal name. Like I remember you doing the
You
true name.
remember my good, memorable voice that could be annoying sometimes.
Well,
Mentally ill, neurotic, loud, stupid, annoying voice.
well, you think it's mentally loud and annoying, but it registers. It's like hitting a bell, and that's why I tell you, all your bing bing, bong bong, all your TikTok videos are totally neurotic. If you were to just sit there and read the Tao Te
Right.
Ching, it would actually sound like you're an intelligent person.
Interesting. So should I just read the book and just read it?
Yes.
And just make a video where it's like just reading
Yes.
chapter 1.
Yes.
Reading this.
Yes.
I'm reading a book called The Tao Te Ching.
Yes.
here.
And everyone will say, this is genius. This is beautiful.
Right.
This is
What is
brilliant.
This? What is this? This is amazing. All right.
Exactly.
Well, maybe that's it. Reading a book a day. Maybe we just do videos and just read books.
That's what I've
So
been
that's what you're
doing.
saying? That's what you've been saying, is basically just make a video where all that you're doing in the video
Yes.
is reading a book.
Yes. Because that's all
I
people
think
want
I
anyways.
finally get it.
That's all
I
that
get
people
it.
want. Yes, that's what people need, and they don't
They need the wisdom.
Yes.
Well, I think that you have been a very strong influence on me, and I appreciate that. I like your term wisdom books.
Yeah.
I like just calling them wisdom books and thinking like all the wisdom in the wisdom books is good. Like that's good wisdom in the wisdom books. And a lot of the shit that we consume every day is stupid.
Yes. And if I were to just pipe in a room of some chick screaming at some stupid people in a stupid room, you'd say, you know what? You're right again. This is absolute. This is what's caused. This will cause brain damage. This app will cause you brain damage.
Right. Maybe that's the point. Is the point brain damage to induce brain damage? Maybe that's the whole point.
Well, no one's willing to work. Everyone just wants to have cheap dopamine as opposed to reading books. In the book club, you have to read a fucking book out loud. Out loud! You gotta read it out loud. You can't just pen through it with a pen and be like, okay, I read the book. No, we want to hear you read it. This is assisted reading living. You know how they got assisted living homes? Well, we help you read fucking books here because most moderators will never enforce the reading a book rule. I am that mod.
That's true.
So,
I guess it's a neurotic, pointless thing to make a video ranting to people online. It's pointless.
it's not, you have to look at it as information transfer. You're transferring data literally with your intelligence, but it's not that intelligent compared to Tao. If you just read the book, you're like, man, you're right. Fuck my opinion. I'll just read books.
Right. Well, it is true because what you're really trying to say is in the book. So if you just go straight to the book, then you get the truth. I've been taking this class at the Chabad, and then last night there was a passage from the Tanya. You know about that one?
No, but my point is you have to look at all of this from the perspective of a filmmaker, because you get one shot to transfer information through your video. So if the video is just your neurotic, compulsive thinking and opinion, that's not the wisdom books or the high value intelligence transfer that the book club demands. So welcome to Tuesday Book Club. We will be reading wisdom books with candidate Congressman John as he prepares to file multiple subpoenas, multiple motions to dismiss, multiple motions to strike, because now I am operating within the Illinois Election Board judicial system, and I'm working with an administrative law judge, and I'm fighting a lawsuit against my campaign. So I have to prepare all these documents, print them, photograph them, publish them, and then subpoena multiple parties. So I have a lot of work I have to do today. But it's interesting being pro se, my friend Zach. Pro se is interesting. Most people have an attorney do all this, but I'm just drafting it all myself, doing it all myself. But we're going to meditate here. Are you prepared to meditate and join the book club?
I'm prepared. I'm cleaning my kitchen.
Okay, I'm going to read from the best enlightenment quotes and passages. These are just 60-second clips for YouTube. Every 60 seconds, I hit the clip button, and it creates a new short video. Okay. This is chapter 1, self-inquiry. There is no such, so again, this is a meditation, everybody. So take the deepest breath of the day. When I say meditation, this is like a relaxation hypnosis program I'm about to read you. So just take the deepest breath of the day. Hold it for 10 seconds. Self-inquiry. There is no such thing as a person. There are only restrictions and limitations. The sum total of these defines the person. You think you know yourself when you know what you are, but you never know who you are. The person merely appears to be, like the space within the pot appears to have the shape and volume and smell of the pot. Like the space within a pot, see that you are not what you believe yourself to be. Fight with all the strength at your disposal against the idea that you are nameable and describable. You are not. Refuse to think of yourself in terms of this or that. There is no other way out of misery, which you have created for yourself through blind acceptance without investigation. Suffering is a call for inquiry. All pain needs investigation. Don't be too lazy to think. Videos. Oh, fuck this guy! Fuck, he had one good videos. Oh, fuck this guy! Fuck, he had one good video. Fuck him!
This guy's an idiot.
Man, fuck this guy's opinion. But that one video was good, man. What was that? What was that about?
That's true. That's very true.
Okay, this is your next meditation hypnosis program. Here we go. Take the deepest breath of the day. In recognizing presence awareness, there is no thing to see, just natural, non-conceptual seeing. Actually, as it is, without subject or object. See this And the realization is immediate that what is labeled as awareness, consciousness, or mind can never be formulated as either a subject or an object. Being empty of a subject or object, it is emptiness seen, cognizing emptiness. Emptiness can never be emptied of emptiness, nor can it be filled by emptiness. With that concept cancelled out, only the wordless, thoughtless, indescribable emptiness remains. Not a vacuum or a void, but a vivid, self-shining, self-knowing, self-aware emptiness, like a clear sky full of light. See for yourself. No one or other can do it for you. Immediate simplicity. Continue to see that the seeing is continuous. Any doubt, question, or argument, and the conceptual seeker has appeared again. See that, and non-conceptual emptiness remains undisturbed.
That was good, but the first one was better. Can you tell me is it from a book of quotes? Can you just tell me who made the first one?
In the book club, all we do is read books. Yeah, I can tell you.
No attributions?
Yeah, the attribution to the first one, his name is Nisar Gadata Maharaj.
All right, thank you. Let's do no attributions from now on.
This is another quote. It's a short one. It says, "If you cannot find truth where you are, where do you expect to find it?" Dogen. Or Dujen.
Maybe in Tel Aviv with some imaginary chick with big titties.
Yeah, that's everywhere.
Tel Aviv titties.
That's everywhere. It is.
What's going on in Chicago, bro? Are you winning? Are you winning your race? Did you win?
Chances are this is just going to be like a political stump fest, and they're going to kick me off the ballot. But in the process, I might bring down one or two people with me.
Did you hear about the mother who was beat up by the group of elementary school students?
Yeah. Did you also see a 26-year-old girl was lit on fire
Set
on the train?
on fire.
Yeah. The trains are.
Times I thought of you. I was like, oh, my friend John.
Trains have historically had some big problems on them. Trains have been a problem for mankind. They don't just do transportation. A lot of people end up dying on trains. It's fucked up.
Wait, what else happened on the train?
There was a mass shooting, I think 2 years ago, where a serial murderer was killing homeless people on the trains. And then also just
Was that in Chicago too?
Yeah. And just like 6 months ago, a veteran.
That's crazy.
A U.S. Army veteran who survived Iraq was murdered on his way to O'Hare. Not a blurb, but a couple blurbs in the news, but nothing serious.
Was it a robbery or why was he murdered?
Yeah, it was a robbery. He got into an altercation.
Robbery gone wrong.
Homeless man. Yeah.
Wow.
Black homeless man. Violent, angry, murdered this veteran. I'm surprised the veteran got killed. It was like the thing is there was no video, so it could have been like that girl, the little skinny blonde Ukrainian who had her neck, ripped apart. It could have been that kind of an attack where you turn your back and you turn your back, yeah, and the next thing you know, you have a knife in your neck, and you're like, whoa, shit, I shouldn't have turned my back on you, shit. Shouldn't have that.
I shouldn't have relaxed. I shouldn't have
relaxed
for a moment.
Do you know how many people have turned their backs when they shouldn't have relaxed, and then they're like,
turned their backs and they relaxed around the blacks?
See, I've turned my back on.
You can't turn your back on.
I've turned my back because I was like, I'm not going to be racist. I'm going to have faith that this person isn't going to attack me or do anything. And the next thing you know, you look up and you're like, wait, what happened to my throat? Oh,
I had that. Wait,
What I'm telling you is, I have turned my back out of faith.
I had the same thing, but I didn't get cut in the throat, but I did get robbed for my iPod.
Danelle, welcome. This is a meditation room, Danelle. I want to briefly let everybody get their dopamine by speaking conversational hypnosis, but we will return to the hypnosis book shortly. Welcome, Danelle.
That's like that guy who, like, I think it was in Canada. He was on the bus and someone, like, fucking took a knife and they cut his head off. It's pretty crazy.
If you stab someone in the throat, are you technically trying to do a beheading?
Well, you gotta really work to fucking behead somebody, man. That's not easy.
Well, do you know what the concept
I
of dying before you die is?
Of like those, remember the journalist beheading? Like, you gotta do some fucking saw action. Like, it's a lot of work to cut someone's head off.
Do you know the concept die before you die?
No. Is it like where you know you're dead?
No,
You're still alive?
it's an ego death, meaning that you've accepted, your fate, which is going through the same gate as everybody else. It's just a mindset. It's a frame to live your life, fearlessly, courageously, with bravery. Hopefully with ethics and great integrity. Because many people who also become fearless or, kamikaze pilots, I don't know if you'd want to call it great integrity, You could, but maybe it's not great intelligence. Bing, bing, bong, bong.
Well, I mean, devil's advocate. I mean, to sacrifice everything for a noble, for a cause for your country to defend your homeland. I mean, there's a certain amount of integrity to do that.
Yeah, but if you throw
Devil's advocate to that.
If you throw your life force against the enemy and you're obliterated in the process, and your nation still loses the war, that is the epitome of, guess what? Not intelligence, stupidity.
Well, how are you going to know that they're going to lose the war? I mean, I don't know.
It's game theory. It's game theory. It's like General Patton saying, you don't win the war by dying. You win the war by killing your enemy. So it's just super consciousness is what I'm saying, which is code name for Mossad. Most people don't know that Mossad is a mantra.
It's like Mossad. Have you studied the Kabbalah very much?
Yeah, I've studied the Kabbalah.
You know about the different parts of it and the whole thing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's just very nice. I've been taking this Kabbalah class at the Chabad, and I had the class last night, and it seems to be a lot of like, you're right where you need to be. Like when you said the guy told you be productive, go home, John, and be productive. That's like quite a good story.
Yeah,
that's like a pretty simple. What should I do with my life, sir? Like, John, it's right there for you. Be productive.
I didn't like that answer, but now I understand. He didn't tell me what to do, but that's why I say the book club is productivity, and most people don't realize that the little work that you put into meditation or chanting sacred scripture or studying, super intelligence, or wisdom books, that is great work. Most people have never even tried to do it, nor do they do it at all. Most people are just doom scrolling on TikTok. And all these girls on Instagram who take photos of their tits and their ass every day and just post it every day, they are technically the most deficient in probably wisdom and communication, because they're just using their bodies to speak, but they have no actual word communication technology capabilities. They are beautiful roses that can't speak, which could be awesome if you can catch one. I call them angels. Welcome, everyone, to the book club. This is a meditation room. This is a decentralized coalition of like-minded individuals who are sick of the noise on Clown House. It is deranged. It is brain rot. It's causing me worry that people every day can even tolerate the things they hear on this app.
That's exactly it. That's the worst part, is that it's concerning to see, like, can I tell you this? I know you don't like the dopamine conversation anecdote. Can I give you one dopamine
Of course.
conversation anecdote?
This is the speaking
Okay.
moment. Go ahead.
All right, speaking moment. So this morning I'm driving along and I passed an elementary school, and there is a little pull off for dropping off your kid where you leave the main road, you go into the little turnaround. It's perfectly made for you to pull in, drop your kid, pull back out. You don't even have to turn around. It's almost like a pit stop at a racetrack where they change your tires. You literally just pull the fuck over, drop your kid, pull back onto the road. But the person in front of me puts on their hazard lights, stops in the middle of the road and drops their kid, and then keeps on going. And then I'm following them for like a block or two, and I'm like, all right, this is an idiot. And then they left, and I just thought, all right, that's an idiot. And I didn't think of it again until just now. But the concerning part is when you're the one who can see other people kind of doing a stupid thing, you're like, wow, there's, like, I get the appeal of this brain rot. I get how it's dopamine. Like, I like dopamine too, so give me dopamine. But also, like, man, some people, it's like thousands of people are just scrolling TikTok and posting their boobs and just retard shit. It's concerning. That's the part that's so concerning, where it's like, I'm disturbed by how many people are not disturbed by this. That's the most disturbing part, is that I'm disturbed and many other people are not. Anyway, thank you for listening. I'm complete.
You know what I miss secrets. I feel like people go on TikTok and they just be telling everything about themselves. I just miss secrets. I don't have to say everything to the internet.
That's what I do. I do the neurotic, share everything to the internet.
Okay, we are ready to return back to our meditation practice. We are reading the best enlightenment quotes and passages to awaken the Buddha within. Take the deepest breath of the day. Hold it for 10 seconds. I exist is the only permanent, self-evident experience of everyone. Nothing else is so self-evident as I am. What people call self-evident, that is, the experience they get through the senses, is far from self-evident. The self alone is that. So to do self-inquiry and be that I am is the only thing to do. I am is reality. I am this or that is unreal. I am is truth, another name for self. Om. That's by Ramana Maharshi. Oh, hey, Meyer. Meyer, you were doing such great debates with Randy McDickerson. I would love to co-host and mod a room where you debate the world-famous anti-Semitic, N-word speaking, low IQ, brain-rotted Jordanian shawarma falafel cooking piece of S on this app, Meyer. You could do it. You have it within you to allow him to destroy. Because Meyer, if you debate him, you will cause him, a migraine, and that's what we're looking for. Migraine Meyer. He will debate you until you.
Migraine. Who am I giving a migraine to?
To Randy McDickerson, that piece of scum Jordanian S-word.
Oh, he's just a troll. He's a bigger troll than you are.
I know, but his vulgarity is so disgusting that he just deserves migraines all the time.
He is vulgar.
He's insanely vulgar.
Yeah, but he's Teflon because he's trying to get you to give him a migraine. So it's like feeding the troll. The more garbage he's around it.
I'm just telling you that he uses such horrific profanity and vulgarity that he is worthy of a migraine.
No, I don't disagree, but you're like it's like trying to be talked about. I'm surprised that you're disturbed by that. I feel like I use a lot of vulgarity too. Do you not? You don't have profane language or vulgarity are not synonyms. What do you mean by this? Are you talking about like dirty parts of the between people's legs?
No, he says just horrifically vulgar things. His whole perspective, his personality, his character, it's just so repulsive that if he speaks like this on here, I mean, I just view people. Everybody here is themselves. That's how they are in the real world. And so if he talks like that on here, I mean, look out. You know.
My friend in real life is just a garbage bag. Exactly.
Precisely. I don't understand how. What is? What? Can you give me an example?
No, I'm just merely trying to say that Meyer, because he debated him once, and I recorded it, and it was a great debate, because stuttering, neurotic Randy, really had a struggle session with Meyer, so it was a lot of fun to listen to.
What was the topic?
It was religious debate.
He a few times tried to get me in a religious debate, and he fell flat. Because his whole shtick is to say a few things that he assumes you don't know, so he can act as if he sounds smart.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty tiresome.
Yeah, but I just like the struggle session of him, basically skipping, and having a mental crater form. It was just an enjoyable debate. That's all I'm saying. But good morning. I hope everyone here is doing well. This is an ASMR safe space zone where individuals like Randy and others cannot disturb your mental peace this morning. This is a safe space.
Is it okay to be a Christian here?
You can be whatever you want to be here as long as you're not loud and obnoxious, vulgar, or profane.
Well, I agree with that. What do you guys think about when there's a debate and then someone calls you names, right? Or they just say stuff like, "Well, I don't think you can I don't think you qualify to have this."
It's called an argument ad hominem. It's when you attack the person instead of attacking the argument. It's a logical fallacy.
Yeah, logical fallacy. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But what do you think about people who feel like this is justifiable when we're having conversations or we're arguing?
Well, they're retarded.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It depends.
It depends on what?
It depends on, and Halliman is an interesting one, because it depends on what led that to it. Because if you make 6 strong arguments in a row, you get respawns about but still, I mean, it gets to a point where we're not having an honest debate anymore, so I might as well just call your wife a dog.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, well, if let's say that it's led with that, right? Basically.
Well, that's not a debate.
And it's not. That's right. Okay, so let's say now, even if we go 6 times, I disagree with you.
You know what's funny is I can feel John itching. I can feel it.
That's weird.
Like I guess the atmosphere is set up, right? Sometimes it's set up to make you you can tell the person wants to make you feel stupid with the setup questions. An argument is usually a person a type of person, they want to set the rules to the argument, so they'll ask a lot of questions and then they end it with an entrapment. And if you are able to maneuver around the entrapment, you see it coming a lot of times from a mile away. You avoid the entrapment. You're trying to have an actual dialogue. People get angry when you avoid that, and then they start, that's when they start doing all these, because what they're so trained, some people, in their doctrine and their verbiage and their language, that if you're on the fly type of thinker and you can avoid that type of stuff, they start to malfunction and call you names.
Yeah, so then they weren't a good faith participant from the jump.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm trying to say. And a lot of people in this app, there's a lot of same level people on this app that beat each other up. And if you don't go along with it, it's tough.
I think, have you heard the Socrates quote? Have you heard the Socrates quote about ad hominem? It says like, if the debate becomes ad hominem, the debate is lost. Something to that extent.
Well, I agree with that.
I don't agree with that.
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Because here's the thing. What's most logical fallacies? You can make a logical fallacy and still be correct. Your argument is wrong. It doesn't mean you lost the war, you lost the battle. So, one of the debate tactics is to get you so infuriated with your logic that you just say, "You're such an idiot." You know, I won the debate because I got you upset first.
Well, yeah, that's a logical fallacy in itself. Man, I think, like, you know, if I'm focusing on doing that to you, I'm missing the whole entire point. So, like, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that, Meyer.
And Socrates he went to his trial with a logical argument. When he started off his trial by saying a lesser man would invoke the sympathies of the court by talking about it for young children, but I wouldn't do that. So he had his own fallacies and stuff.
If there's one book or one historical person that you think frames or shapes reality the most, who do you think it is?
You're asking me? Say that again. Ask you one thinker that is the most influential on reality.
I would say Jesus Christ. Me personally.
Yeah, it's just an open question. Anybody can answer it.
What was the question?
If there's one person or one book that you think most defines, shapes, or frames or creates reality.
The one book that shapes reality, or
Person
frames
or
reality, the best
associated
book?
person
You're
or
asking in a
associated.
funny way. You mean shapes reality or shapes our perception of reality?
Yeah, shapes our
Are
perception.
you saying what's the best book?
I'm saying which historical person or which book, throughout human history shapes, has defined or created or persistently at scale shapes, defines, or allows us to, who's the most influential in terms of the herd, the group consciousness?
Probably the Bible. Wouldn't it be the Bible?
Yeah, and I would say that the one person would be Jesus Christ.
Well, yeah. I mean, I kind of agree with that, respectfully.
It depends what you mean by that.
What he's saying, who shapes reality, who shapes of course he means the thought process of people. It doesn't have to be true, even though I believe it to be true. It's just what's shaping the who's the most influential, who shapes, like, who basically is shaping the thought process of our current society.
As a proliferator, then most definitely Jesus, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you're saying proliferator. I could say King James was more influential than Jesus.
Well, nobody's out here saying, "Oh, King James," as a slur, or as a
but King James is nothing without Jesus, and King James did nothing for the Muslim world. So there's billions of more people that are alive today because. So I would.
Nobody sees King James in their toast.
That's a good point.
There isn't a bunch of King James movies and adaptations. There's a bunch of Jesus ones though.
Well, this is like subjective versus objective. I'm claiming that the object created by King James or mass published and produced under his
You
name
just
and
did
guidance.
it to be annoying, I know.
Well,
But
I'm trying to essentially say that throughout human history, what is G.K. Chesterton? He has this one essay about the physical historicity. I'm just saying that these books are just external hard drives put together by King James, who had the money And that whole organization, whatever the historical context is, that's like the most successful publishing of these ancient texts.
Of the Western world.
Alright, and so that was the most influential person
Right.
in history.
But King James isn't even he has a small segment of the world's population that read the Bible. There's a whole other there's Eastern Orthodox people. There's just a whole other slew of Catholics. They don't read the King James Bible. There's a whole slew of other types of Christians.
I get it, but isn't the King James Bible the most published book in human history?
Yeah, so, but it's not a plurality.
Yeah,
it is a plurality, it's not majority.
I'm not sure if it is, but it might be. But it doesn't mean like the majority of the world reads directly from the King James Bible. It just means.
Okay, what sect of Christianity do you ascribe to?
You're talking about me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just a non-denominational Christian, I guess. Protestant. I don't know.
Would you say there are multiple versions of the Ten Commandments? Like, would you accept any version?
No, I think there's only one Ten Commandments. I do think there's they reworded it a little bit different if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about it. About like the you shall have no other idols. You shall have no idols or not any idols, but I could be wrong about that. But I think there's only one.
Let's ask the prophets.
Are you talking about AI?
Yeah.
Or the graven images? It might have been the graven images. It was one of them. I think it was graven images actually. In heaven or earth, something like that. But
It's making me log in.
so what do you guys ascribe to? Is it atheist, agnostic, Christian, Buddhist, Muslim? What's your worldviews?
What your views is? Hey, did you see? Where was it? Oh, was that Minneapolis? Was it? There was like recently the kind of riot thing happening. Did you see about that? Anybody know what I'm talking about?
No.
Well, I think it was in Minneapolis. I think. No, it was in Dearborn. My bad. Dearborn, Michigan.
Yeah.
And anyway, there was a bunch of people kind of milling around.
Yeah, they were gonna burn a Quran and it caused a huge
Hey, you
problem.
want a debate? Hey, let's have a debate. Hey, you want a debate?
They were gonna burn a Quran and it was gonna cause a huge problem.
Was that what it was about?
Yeah, I saw it in the news this morning.
Hey, you want a debate? Hey, you trying to debate? Hey, you want a debate?
Sir, welcome to the room. And Caleb, if you want to come up.
I think that was Cam Higby and Jake Lang went up to Dearborn to agitate. Yes. Thank you. Exactly. That was it. Mm-hmm.
Caleb,
Hey, you trying to debate though?
Caleb, this is a meditation
There's
room.
much debating.
Caleb, if you want to come up and sing us a Nagoon, this is a meditation room. This is an
I'm calling
ASM.
a Nagoon.
Caleb down here he chants Nagoons. I heard him chant his grandfather's favorite Nagoon. It was beautiful.
Have you guys ever seen the movie Idiotocracy?
Oh yeah, great one. I thought it was called Idiotopolis. Do you think
No.
Caleb left because you asked him to read a Nagoon, or because he didn't like my joke about the word Nagoon?
I think that was him waking up and saying, you know what? Clubhouse is mentally ill, neurotic, loud, and stupid. I'm gonna go be productive. Get the
Wait, how do
fuck
you
out of
guys
here.
know what a Niggin is?
or Nigun, short for Nigun, whatever. But how do you guys know that?
Because
Are you?
I mean, I Ribona
Probably the same
Shalom.
way you know it.
I didn't know. I didn't know if they were all Yidden in here. If this is like a Yiddish.
Andre is not.
Oh, okay, cool. I remember I was at this one. I was at this one Farbringen once, and they just started. They started it, and like it became basically Star Wars. They thought it was really clever to like just start, humming out the Star Wars theme.
So what is it? You said you were Yiddish? Like Yiddish?
Yidden is Jewish. It's just.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I get you.
Because that's pretty esoteric. Like I don't know many people who aren't Jewish who know that word.
Are you guys Jewish?
I am.
The rest of us are Jewish.
Oh, okay.
I'm not Jewish. My mother's gorgeous, and but my father is Yiddishkeit.
My father's Jewish and my mother's gorgeous.
Are you Jewish culturally or religiously?
I'm religious.
Religiously.
Culturally.
Ribona
I learned
Shalom.
something new today. I am seeing differences in the numeration of the Ten Commandments.
Yeah, it's the Catholic one, right? The Catholic version? Was I right
I'm
about that?
comparing Catholic and Lutheran to Protestant. Typical Protestant, I guess you could say.
So this is a meditation room, not a Q&A room for Amari to experience the English language. I know I regularly bring up ESL is very important, but we have rules within the book club where we take breaks from conversational hypnosis, and your beautiful moderator will rehypnotize you with passages from a quotes book.
Rehypnotize me? Have I met you before? Did you used to say something called, you used to say conversation is hypnosis? Did you used to
All communication
You
is
hypnotize.
hypnosis.
You hypnotize so many people on Clown House. You hypnotize them.
Yeah.
They're like, wait, did you say something like conversation is hypnosis or something? Somehow I have this refrain in my head. I wake up, I walk around, I say to myself, I don't know where I got this from. I walk around, I say conversation is hypnosis. All conversation is hypnosis. I don't know where I'm getting this from. I must have got it from somewhere.
Who programmed me neurolinguistically?
It was you.
I'm stuck on this. Catholics have two. The last two is you shall not covet your neighbor's wife, you shall not covet your neighbor's goods. I don't know why that's Okay, I'll stop.
I also want to let everybody know that this whole conversation is being fed into B Computer, an Amazon AI wearable, and I have been feeding Clubhouse into Amazon B Computer for it's about 2 months now, and it's amazing how much conversations happen here and how Amazon essentially tracks it, publishes it, records every transcript from Clubhouse now. It's kind of cool. I am filling Amazon up.
So when Amazon goes fully retarded, we'll know it was your fault.
So what do you guys think about the Ethiopian Jews?
I'm sorry, Amari, but we will not be entertaining any more of your questions. We're taking a break from your questions. We are returning to the core mission of my Clubhouse usage because I have to be productive. And unfortunately, I'm trying to put intelligent communication and words inside of my brain at this very moment. This is a meditation ASMR safe space from Clubhouse loud, stupid, and annoying people. This is just a
But
brief
that was a
moment in
very
your
innocent
life.
question.
It doesn't matter. We're not doing Q&A for ESL. This is not an ESL Q&A room. This is a John Kitover production, and we are about to engage the best enlightenment quotes and passages. So take the deepest breath of the day. Hold it for 10 seconds. This is your next enlightenment quote. In oneself lies the whole world, and if you know how to look and learn, the door is there, and the key is in your hand. Nobody on earth can give you either the key or the door to open, except yourself. That's by Jiddu Krishnamurti. Just realize you are dreaming a dream you call the world and stop looking for ways out. The dream is not your problem. Your problem is that you like one part of your dream and not the other. Love all or none of it and stop complaining. When you have seen the dream as a dream, you have done all that needs to be done. That's by Nisargadatta Maharaj. Has it ever occurred to you that you are seeking God with his eyes? That's by Adyashanti. What I have to offer is very simple. It has nothing to do with acquiring any special powers or state of mind. It is about recognizing what is already permanently here, in every moment, every situation, and every state of mind, and yet is ungraspable by the mind. The quote's by Gangaji. The root of all desires is the one desire, to come home, to be at peace. There may be a moment in life when our compensatory activities, the accumulation of money, learning, and objects, leave us feeling deeply apathetic. This can motivate us towards the search for our real nature beyond appearances. We may find ourselves asking, why am I here? What is life? Who am I? Hello? Sooner or later, any intelligent person asks these questions. That's by Gene Klein. The most intimate question we can ask, and the one that has the most spiritual power, is this: what or who am I? Adyashanti. Okay, this is the last quote. The mind will merge only by self-inquiry. Who am I? The thought, who am I, will destroy all other thoughts and finally kill itself also. If other thoughts arise, without trying to complete them, one must inquire, to whom did this thought arise? What does it matter how many thoughts arise? As each thought arises, one must be watchful and ask, to whom is the thought occurring? The answer will be, to me. If you inquire, who am I, the mind will return to its source, or where it issued from. The thought which arose will also submerge. As you practice like this more and more, the power of the mind to remain as its source is increased. Ramana Maharshi. Okay, that is Enlightenment Quotes and Passages. This has been your Clubhouse Zen ASMR moment, free from loud, annoying, stupid, obnoxious, horrible clownhouse people.
Now that you got rid of all the obnoxious clownhouse people, you're completely silenced. No one has anything left to say.
No, it's because we're all just letting the wisdom resonate and reverberate in our hearts and minds and souls.
I just keep thinking, who
I think
am
you're doing
I?
a great service. I mean, I probably feel like I should pay you at this point. I feel like I should probably offer you a subscription fee, or you should.
No, you should just clone me.
monetize.
I don't want your money.
Yeah.
What I want you to do is clone me and just do my shtick and my hypnosis routine on your social media as yourself, and you'll be like, holy shit, people are just falling for this. They think it's real, and they keep saying, what was he talking about? See, this is where all this. I'm actually just a self-actualization comedian. Zen Mini down there, I think, said it one time. All these self-hypnosis books that deal with self with the capital S or the I am, these are like tools to polish yourself because look at Myers' PTR. That's the type of supernova consciousness you hope to achieve. And hopefully that genius effect.
It's a quasar. It's not a supernova.
I know, quasar. What I'm trying to tell you is super consciousness is essentially prioritization of communication. And this app proves that no one is capable of prioritizing their communication because all communication is hypnosis. And when you do conversational hypnosis, if somebody just throws out a question like, what's the biggest blue ball you've ever seen? Or here's some water. Are you feeling wet? Yeah. Anyways, I'm just saying that, reading a book on Clownhouse is extremely useful. It's the same thing as saying Rabboni Shalom.
What book are we reading?
I'm reading The Best Enlightenment Quotes and Passages to Awaken the Buddha Within. It's a quotations book of the best, somebody composed a quotations book. It's by Karen James, copyright 2013. And it's just a bunch of amazing quotes. And so my thesis in communication theory, and I told this to a pretty successful musician, I said, your job as a musician is you are hypnotizing your audience and hopefully bringing them to a deep relaxation. And my theory is if you can bring people into a deep relaxation by using wisdom books, that's really intelligent meditation practice. And that's why I encourage all of you to use this app in a different way. Open up your Tanyas, open up your Chumash, open up your tuna fish sandwiches, and get some meat and potatoes into people's brains on this app, and you'll be doing it to yourself. And then Tikkun Olam, Ribono Shel Olam, one brain at a time.
Oh, sorry. Hope I wasn't too loud.
And if you start playing music, you can play music on this app too. You don't have to have never-ending conversational hypnosis sessions with people like Randy McDickerson.
Is that a marimba?
It's a kalimba.
Oh, kalimba, kalimba.
Okay, I'm going to now continue my hypnosis ASMR safe space zone for you here on Clownhouse. I'm going to play for you the Chinese flute, and I want you to focus on your breathing and center yourself on your breathing. Just focus on the breath. Take the deepest breath of the day. And after I play to you the Chinese flute, I will continue reading to you from this Enlightenment Quotations book in the book club. Okay, this is back to the quotations book. Look within. There is no difference between yourself, self, and guru. You are always free. There is no teacher. There is no student. There is no teaching. Papaji. If we understand one question rightly, all questions are answered. But we don't know how to ask the right question. To ask the right question demands a great deal of intelligence and sensitivity. Here is a question, a fundamental question. Is life a torture? It is as it is, and man has lived in this torture centuries upon centuries, from ancient history to the present day, in agony, in despair, in sorrow, and he doesn't find a way out of it. Therefore he invents gods, churches, all the rituals, and all that nonsense, or he escapes in different ways. What we are trying to do during all these discussions and talks here is to see if we cannot radically bring about a transformation of the mind. Not accept things as they are, nor revolt against them. Revolt doesn't answer a thing. You must understand it, go into it, examine it, give your heart and your mind with everything that you have to find out a way of living differently. And that depends on you, and not on someone else. Because in this there is no teacher, no pupil, there is no leader, there is no guru, there is no master, no savior. You, yourself, are the teacher and the pupil. You are the master, you are the guru, you are the leader. You are everything. And to understand is to transform what is. Jiddu Krishnamurti. The self always is. There is no knowing it. It is not some new knowledge to be acquired. What is new and not here and now cannot be permanent. The self always is, but knowledge of it is obstructed, and the obstruction is called ignorance. Remove the ignorance, and knowledge shines forth. In fact, it is not the self that has this ignorance or even knowledge. These are only accretions to be cleared away. That is why the self is said to be beyond knowledge and ignorance. All doubts will cease only when the doubter and his source have been found. It is no use endlessly removing doubts. If we clear up one another will arise, and there will be no end to them. But if the doubter himself is found to be really non-existent, by seeking his source, then all doubts will cease. It remains as it naturally is. That is all. Ramana Maharshi. Okay, this is chapter 2, presence. In French, presence is pronounced puissance. Okay, this is the last quote I'm going to read. It's by Ken Wilber. You might be looking at a mountain, and you have relaxed into the effortlessness of your present awareness. And then suddenly the mountain is all. You are nothing. Your separate self sense is suddenly and totally gone. And there is simply everything that is arising moment to moment. You are perfectly aware, perfectly conscious. Everything seems completely normal, except you are nowhere to be found. You are not on this side of your face looking at the mountain out there. You simply are the mountain. You are the sky. You are the clouds. You are everything that is arising, moment to moment, very simply, very clearly. Just so. Ken Wilber. Okay, I'm going to take a reading break. Feel free to re-engage your conversational hypnosis skills by asking a question. Okay, this has been Clubhouse is mentally ill, neurotic and loud, full of stupid, annoying people. Hosted by candidate Congressman John Kitover of the 16th District of Illinois. Go to johnforcongress.com. The next meditational music hypnosis device I'll be using is from Peru. I'm like laughing at my routine right now. I will say that the Pied Piper effect, or communication hypnosis, it's real. People go with people go with their communication, their program, their platform, and playing a flute. Is very reminiscent of that capability, or music. If you compare musicians to politicians, politicians are doing the same thing that musicians are doing, but in a much more crude way. Musicians at least have some talent. And there's a lot more musicians than there are politicians. I'm gonna heart out of here in 8 minutes and go to my other office and draft some documents. Make a phone call the customer service line. To me, that's the most annoying thing in the world, is having to call somebody on the phone to tell them to log in to pull some document. Okay, this is Enlightenment Quotes and Passages. This is David Bodon. In truth, there is no seer or witness. There is simply seeing, witnessing, and you are that. There is something that notices the silent seer, a witness. Like light, it cannot itself be seen, and yet it illuminates all that is seen. We can't say it is absent, but it can never be found. This is the mystery of being conscious. Self is what you are. You are that fathomlessness in which experience and concepts appear. Self is the moment that has no coming or going. It is the heart, Atman, emptiness. It shines to itself, by itself, in itself. Self is what gives breath to life. You need not search for it. It is here. You are that through which you would search. You are what you are looking for. And that is all it is. Only self is. Papa G. That was written by Papa G. Okay, this is written by Muji. Our minds turn awakening into a task. We feel it is something that we have to do, which is true up to a point. But we shouldn't intimidate ourselves with that. Actually, realizing the truth becomes a kind of joy and effortlessness. Gradually, we find it is just confirming itself by itself. Already it has presented itself in some subtle way within you. You cannot be bored with it if it is truly alive. Instead of pushing, just be more quiet and let it continue to show itself. Let it find its natural way to reveal itself. Just let it come. Your place is to stay inside the heart. Yes, absorb me. There is tremendous power in this when genuinely expressed. Our true nature is that simple and undeniable presence of awareness that illumines all thinking, feeling, and perceiving. Always present and radiantly clear, it is never obscured by time, circumstances, or thoughts. The body, mind, and world rise and set in awareness and have no independent existence apart from awareness. Awareness, your real being is.
You want to hear some really good news?
What?
This balance sheet balances.
Oh, thank God.
Thank you for sharing with me and my exuberation.
Yeah, I know what that feels like. It's like programming. You're like, holy shit, there's no errors in the code. And then you can move on. And start something new. My friend's a CPA firm called Novogradic. They do low-income housing tax credit auditing, etc. And he makes a lot of money as a partner. He does very well, but he's very talented.
Good for him.
It's really his talent. And I wouldn't just say it's his ability to balance a spreadsheet. It's actually his communication. He's very aggressive. And he knows what he's talking about. So if you can be aggressive and be a subject matter expert as a CPA, you're very valuable. Nick said, welcome. This is Clubhouse. Clubhouse is full of mentally ill, neurotic, loud, stupid, and annoying people, as you know. But, who am I? That's the question. Who am I? This has been another John Kitover, candidate Congressman, conversational hypnosis room, bringing you joy and delight. A relaxing ASMR safe space from the loud, obnoxious, vulgar, and profane clown house retards. Definitely retarded people of this app. I would call this an assisted living facility for the profane. Assisted living facility. Nick Zed, I have a couple of legal definition questions for you, if you could be so kind as to help me answer just a few brief questions. For example, what is an affirmative? Representing myself pro se, and the rules of procedure manual is 20 pages long, so I read through the whole thing last night. And now all my questions that I highlighted, I'm going to plug into Grok for definitions, case law, and relevancy queries. I'm also issuing subpoenas to a sitting congressman, and I'm going to ask him to appear for a testimony or a disposition, as well as a testimony hearing and production. My questions to you, Migzed, are: affirmative defense and how that applies to, essentially, what is the definition of an affirmative defense? And then Rule 6 and dispositive motions. What are dispositive motions? Other questions. Okay, appearance of parties. A party may compel the presence of another party at an evidentiary hearing. So can I compel the opponent, the incumbent Congressman LaHood, to appear at an evidentiary hearing where I present printouts of his petitions with AI analysis compared to the Illinois voter registration file to ask him questions why he's short on his number of petitions? Also, rule number 9, affirmative mark. What is an affirmative mark? Staff will consider an affirmative mark, such as a line or scribble, over the signature and or address to strike the signature. This is regarding staff procedures for records examination and staff signature count. Basically, you can challenge every single signature, and then the election commission is responsible for the final determination of those signatures, and you essentially appeal or do what's called a standing objection to all decisions that the board makes. Another question. Photography of any kind, including video recording, is prohibited in the records examination area. Does that include audio recordings? Next question is, okay. The board will not hear evidence that could have been but was not presented to the hearing officer, nor will the board or hearing officer consider objections that could have been but were not raised in the original written objection. My original written objection is very vague, meaning that I just said it's nonconformity and doesn't have the correct number of signatures, thus subjecting it to a count by the Illinois Election Board. Now listen to this. This is schedule of brief and motion filing. This gets extremely complicated, and thus why attorneys are paid, because they're so intelligent with communication. Here we go. Listen to this. Candidate's motion to strike and or dismiss or other similar motion is known as an MTD. Objector's motion for summary judgment or other similar motion is known as an MSJ. Objector's response to candidate's MTD. Candidate's response to objector's MSJ. Candidate's reply to objector's response to candidate's MTD. Objector's reply to candidate's response to objector's MSJ. Any memorandum of law in support of any of the above pleadings shall accompany such pleading. Briefs on any issues shall be filed as directed by the board or the hearing officer. So I'm using Grok to do legal research, and I'm going to create a memorandum of law document. Basically, I'm not putting this in any kind of real format. I'm going to just basically create a bunch of documents. It's not going to look pretty. It'll look pretty, but it won't be like a lawyer did it. I'm pro se. So these are the final questions for you, Mixed. If there is no address listed other than a city or a village, the objection should be sustained unless in the city, town, or village street addresses either do not exist or are not commonly used. However, if the address line is blank, but the signer's surname is the same as the person signing above where an address is listed, indicating that such signer resides at the same address, any objections to missing address shall be overruled. Is that not the biggest, like, what? What the fuck is that saying? Meaning that you can challenge every single signature, and you have to overcome it through objection. It's absolutely insane that you can challenge these petitions and get every single thing challenged and force you off the ballot. This deals with ballot access. I'm telling you, this is how they manipulate ballot access through this rule book. Basically, if you know the rules, you can challenge everything because you're. Okay, this is the last question. Business day time periods set forth in Rule 9 above will be given an opportunity to present a copy of the signer's voter registration record for a signature comparison. Business day time periods set forth in Rule will be given an opportunity to present a copy of the signer's voter registration record for a signature comparison. Businesses have it sent an opportunity to present a copy. The signature is not legible. This is so crazy. It is so horribly annoying because if you have to have 1,550 signatures, you have to defend 1,550 signatures. It's line by line. It can take weeks. Okay, petition signer's voter registration is on inactive status. At the Rule 9 hearing, the objector may introduce evidence that the voter in question no longer resides at the address shown on the petition. How to determine the question. Okay, signatures exceed the statutory maximum. What is the maximum? Okay, that's it. That's rules of procedure. Some of the more complicated language in there. Okay, that's my morning meditation show, everybody. I am now returning back to the world of productivity. I will be putting on the Tao Te Ching, and I will be going to my other office to draft documents, to submit documents, like a productive person does, right? Drafting documents for emails, documents for uploads. But the question remains, who am I? Who are you? Where are you right now in this ASMR safe space zone where I can't seem to find what I want to play you because YouTube has deleted all my YouTube accounts for whatever reason. Oh, why? Probably because there's an F word or an N word somewhere around there that reported my YouTube accounts. Notified law enforcement multiple times. There's always these F word N words out there, these radical F word N words who, they're like, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. Whenever you hear somebody say, they're like, run for the hills. Don't waste your time. It costs nothing but trouble.
Tao Te Ching can be translated as the book of the having without possessing, acting with no expectations, leading and not trying to control. This is the supreme virtue. 11. We join spokes together in a wheel, but it is the center hole that makes the wagon move. We shape clay into a pot, but it is the emptiness inside that holds whatever we want. We hammer wood for a house, but it is the inner space that makes it livable. We work with being, but non-being is what we use. Colors blind the eye. Sounds deafen the ear. Flavors numb the taste. Thoughts weaken the mind. Desires wither the heart. The master observes the world, but trusts his inner vision. He allows things to come and go. His heart is open as the sky. 13. Success is as dangerous as failure. Hope is as hollow as fear. What does it mean that success is as dangerous as failure? Whether you go up the ladder or down it, your position is shaky. When you stand with your 2 feet on the ground, you will always keep your balance. What does it mean that hope is as hollow as fear? Hope and fear are both phantoms that arise from thinking of the self. When we don't see the self as self, what do we have to fear? See the world as yourself. Have faith in the way things are. Love the world as yourself. Then you can care for all things. 14. Look, and it can't be seen. Listen, and it can't be heard. Reach, and it can't be grasped. Above, it isn't bright. Below, it isn't dark. Seamless, unnameable, it returns to the realm of nothing. Form that includes all forms. Image without an image. Subtle, beyond all conception. Approach it, and there is no beginning. Follow it, and there is no end. You can't know it, but you can be it. At ease in your own life. Just realize where you come from. This is the essence of wisdom. 15. The ancient masters were profound and subtle. Their wisdom was unfathomable. There is no way to describe it. All we can describe is their appearance. They were careful as someone crossing an iced-over stream, alert as a warrior in enemy territory, courteous as a guest, fluid as melting ice, shapeable as a block of wood, receptive as a valley, clear as a glass of water. Do you have the patience to wait till your mud settles and the water is clear? Can you remain unmoving till the right action arises by itself? The master doesn't seek fulfillment. Not seeking, not expecting. She is present and can welcome all things. 16. Empty your mind of all thoughts. Let your heart be at peace. Watch the turmoil of beings, but contemplate their return. Each separate being in the universe returns to the common source. Returning to the source is serenity. If you don't realize the source, you stumble in confusion and sorrow. When you realize where you come from, you naturally become tolerant, disinterested, amused, kind-hearted as a grandmother, dignified as a king. Immersed in the wonder of the Tao, you can deal with whatever life brings you. And when death comes, you are ready. 17. When the master governs, the people are hardly aware that he exists. Next best is a leader who is loved. Next, one who is feared. The worst is one who is despised. If you don't trust the people, you make them untrustworthy. The master doesn't talk, he acts. When his work is done, the people say, "Amazing, we did it, all by ourselves." 18. When the great Tao is forgotten, goodness and piety appear. When the body's intelligence declines, cleverness and knowledge step forth. When there is no peace in the family, filial piety begins. When the country falls into chaos, patriotism is born. 19. Throw away holiness and wisdom, and people will be 100 times happier. Throw away morality and justice, and people will do the right thing. Throw away industry and profit, and there won't be any thieves. If these three aren't enough, just stay at the center of the circle and let all things take their course. 20. Stop thinking and end your problems. What difference between yes and no? What difference between success and failure? Must you value what others value, avoid what others avoid? How ridiculous. Other people are excited, as though they were at a parade. I alone don't care. I alone am expressionless, like an infant before it can smile. Other people have what they need. I alone possess nothing. I alone drift about like someone without a home. I am like an idiot, my mind is so empty. Other people are bright. I alone am people are sharp. I alone am dull. Other people have a purpose. I alone don't know. I drift like a wave on the ocean. I blow as aimless as the wind. I am different from ordinary people. I drink from the Great Mother's breasts. 21. The Master keeps her mind always at one with the Tao. That is what gives her her radiance. The Tao is ungraspable. How can her mind be at one with it? Because she doesn't cling to ideas. The Tao is dark and unfathomable. How can it make her radiant? Because she lets it. Since before time and space were, the Tao is. It is beyond is and is not. How do I know this is true? I look inside myself and see. If you want to become whole, let yourself be partial. If you want to become straight, let yourself be crooked. If you want to become full, let yourself be empty. If you want to be reborn, let yourself die. If you want to be given everything, give everything up. The Master, by residing in the Tao, sets an example for all beings. Because he doesn't display himself, people can see his light. Because he has nothing to prove, people can trust his words. Because he doesn't know who he is, people recognize themselves in him. Because he has no goal in mind, everything he does succeeds. When the ancient masters said, if you want to be given everything, give everything up, they weren't using empty phrases. Only in being lived by the Tao can you be truly yourself. Express yourself completely, then keep quiet. Be like the forces of nature. When it blows, there is only wind. When it rains, there is only rain. When the clouds pass, the sun shines through. If you open yourself to the Tao, you are at one with the Tao, and you can embody it completely. If you open yourself to insight, you are at one with insight, and you can use it completely. If you open yourself to loss, you are at one with loss, and you can accept it completely. Open yourself to the Tao, Then trust your natural responses, and everything will fall into place. 24. He who stands on tiptoe doesn't stand firm. He who rushes ahead doesn't go far. He who tries to shine, dim and firm. He who stands on tiptoe doesn't stand firm. He who rushes ahead doesn't go far. He who tries to shine dims his own light. He who defines himself can't know who he really is. He who has power over others can't empower himself. He who clings to his work will create nothing that endures. If you want to accord with the Tao, just do your job, then let go. 25. There was something formless and perfect before the universe was born. It is serene, empty, solitary, unchanging, infinite, eternally present. It is the mother of the universe. For lack of a better name, I call it the Tao. It flows through all things, inside and outside, and returns to the origin of all things. The Tao is great. The universe is great. Earth is great. Man is great. These are the four great powers. Man follows the earth. Earth follows the universe. The universe follows the Tao. The Tao follows only itself. 26. The heavy is the root of the light. The unmoved is the source of all movement. Thus the master travels all day without leaving home. However splendid the views, she stays serenely in herself. Why should the lord of the country flit about like a fool? If you let yourself be blown to and fro, you lose touch with your root. If you let restlessness move you, you lose touch with who you are. 27. And doesn't reject anyone. And doesn't reject anyone. He's ready to use all situations and doesn't waste anything. This is called embodying the light. What is a good man but a bad man's teacher? What is a bad man but a good man's job? If you don't understand this, you will get lost, however intelligent you are. It is the great secret. Know the male, yet keep to the female. Receive the world in your arms. If you receive the world, the Tao will never leave you, and you will be like a little child. Know the white, yet keep to the black. Be a pattern for the world. If you are a pattern for the world, the Tao will be strong inside you, and there will be nothing you can't do. Know the personal, yet keep to the impersonal. Accept the world as it is. If you accept the world, the Tao will be luminous inside you, and you will return to your primal self. The world is formed from the void, like utensils from a block of wood. The master knows the utensils, yet keeps to the block. Thus she can use all things. 29. Do you want to improve the world? I don't think it can be done. The world is sacred. It can't be improved. If you tamper with it, you'll ruin it. If you treat it like an object, you'll lose it. There's a time for being ahead, a time for being behind, a time for being in motion, a time for being at rest, a time for being vigorous, a time for being exhausted,
something that
a time
I
for
think
being
is worthy
safe,
of
a time for
much
being
deeper
in
discussion.
danger.
Not this question.
The master sees things as they are, without trying to control them.
Practical.
She lets them go their own way and resides at the center of the circle. 30. Whoever relies on the Tao in governing men doesn't try to force issues or defeat enemies with their force of arms. For every force, there is a counterforce. Violence, even well-intentioned, always rebounds upon oneself. The master does his job and then stops. He understands that the universe is forever out of control, and that trying to dominate events goes against the current of the Tao. Because he believes in himself, he doesn't try to convince others. Because he is content with himself, he doesn't need others' approval. Because he accepts himself, the whole world accepts him. 31. Weapons are the tools of violence. All decent men detest them. Weapons are the tools of fear. A decent man will avoid them, except in the direst necessity, and if compelled, will use them only with the utmost restraint. Peace is his highest value. If the peace has been shattered, how can he be content? His enemies are not demons, but human beings like himself. He doesn't wish them personal harm, nor does he rejoice in victory. How could he rejoice in victory and delight in the slaughter of men? He enters a battle gravely, with sorrow, and with great compassion, as if he were attending a funeral. 32. The Tao can't be perceived. Smaller than an electron, it contains uncountable galaxies. If powerful men and women could remain centered in the Tao, all things would be in harmony. The world would become a paradise. All people would be at peace, and the law would be written in their hearts. When you have names and forms, know that they are provisional. When you have institutions, know where their functions should end. Knowing when to stop, you can avoid any danger. All things end in the Tao, as rivers flow into the sea. 33. Knowing others is intelligence. Knowing yourself is true wisdom. Mastering others is strength. Mastering yourself is true power. If you realize that you have enough, you are truly rich. If you stay in the center and embrace death with your whole heart, you will endure forever. "34. The great Tao flows everywhere. All things are born from it, yet it doesn't create them. It pours itself into its work, yet it makes no claim. It nourishes infinite worlds, yet it doesn't hold on to them. Since it is merged with all things and hidden in their hearts, it can be called humble. Since all things vanish into it, and it alone endures, it can be called great. It isn't aware of its greatness. Thus, it is truly great. 35. She who is centered in the Tao can go where she wishes without danger. She perceives the universal harmony, even amid great pain, because she has found peace in her heart. Music or the smell of good cooking may make people stop and enjoy. But words that point to the Tao seem monotonous and without flavor. When you look for it, there is nothing to see. When you listen for it, there is nothing to hear. When you use it, it is inexhaustible. 36. If you want to shrink something, you must first allow it to expand. If you want to get rid of something, you must first allow it to flourish. If you want to take something, you must first allow it to be given. This is called the subtle perception of the way things are. The soft overcomes the hard. The slow overcomes the fast. Let your workings remain a mystery. This is called the subtle perception of the way things are. The soft overcomes the hard. The slow overcomes the fast. Let your workings remain a mystery. Just show people the results. "37. The Tao never does anything, yet through it all things are done. If powerful men and women could center themselves in it, the whole world would be transformed by itself in its natural rhythms. People would be content with their simple, everyday lives, in harmony and free of desire. When there is no desire, all things are at peace." 38. The Master doesn't try to be powerful. Thus, he is truly powerful. The ordinary man keeps reaching for power. Thus, he never has enough. The Master does nothing, yet he leaves nothing undone. The ordinary man is always doing things, yet many more are left to be done. The kind man does something, yet something remains undone. The just man does something, and leaves many things to be done. The moral man does something, and when no one responds, he rolls up his sleeves and uses force. When the Tao is lost, there is goodness. When goodness is lost, there is morality. When morality is lost, there is ritual. Ritual is the husk of true faith, the beginning of chaos. Therefore, the Master concerns himself with the depths and not the surface, with the fruit and not the flower. He has no will of his own. He dwells in reality and lets all illusions go.
Petition and objection form is an electronic system for viewing and filing.
39. In harmony with the Tao, The sky is clear and spacious. The earth is solid and full. All creatures flourish together, content with the way they are, endlessly repeating themselves, endlessly renewed. When man interferes with the Tao, the sky becomes filthy, the earth becomes depleted, the equilibrium crumbles, creatures become extinct. The master views the parts with compassion because he understands the whole. His constant practice is humility. He doesn't glitter like a jewel, but lets himself be shaped by the Tao, as rugged and common as a stone. 40. Return is the movement of the Tao. Yielding is the way of the Tao. All things are born of being. Being is born of non-being. When a superior man hears of the Tao, he immediately begins to embody it. When an average man hears of the Tao, he half believes it, half doubts it. When a foolish man hears of the Tao, he laughs out loud. If he didn't laugh, it wouldn't be the Tao. Thus it is said, the path into the light seems dark. The path forward seems to go back. The direct path seems long. True power seems weak. True purity seems tarnished. True steadfastness seems changeable. True clarity seems obscure. The greatest art seems unsophisticated. The greatest love seems indifferent. The greatest wisdom seems childish. The Tao is nowhere to be found, yet it nourishes and completes all things. 42. The Tao gives birth to one. One gives birth to two. Two gives birth to three. Three gives birth to all things. All things have their backs to the female and stand facing the male. When male and female combine, all things achieve harmony. Ordinary men hate solitude, but the master makes use of it, embracing his aloneness, realizing he is one with the whole universe. 43. The gentlest thing in the world overcomes the hardest thing in the world. That which has no substance enters where there is no space. This shows the value of non-action. Teaching without words, performing without actions. That is the master's way. 44. Fame or integrity? Which is more important? Money or happiness? Which is more valuable? Success or failure? Which is more destructive? If you look to others for fulfillment, you will never truly be fulfilled. If your happiness depends on money, you will never be happy with yourself. Be content with what you have. Rejoice in the way things are. When you realize there is nothing lacking, the whole world belongs to you. 45. True perfection seems imperfect, yet it is perfectly itself. True fullness seems empty, yet it is fully present. True straightness seems crooked. True wisdom seems foolish. True art seems artless. The master allows things to happen. She shapes events as they come. She steps out of the way and lets the Tao speak for itself. 46. When a country is in harmony with the Tao, the factories make trucks and tractors. When a country goes counter to the Tao, warheads are stockpiled outside the cities. There is no greater illusion than fear, no greater wrong than preparing to defend yourself, no greater misfortune than having an enemy. Whoever can see through all fear will always be safe. 47. Without opening your door, you can open your heart to the world. Without looking out your window, you can see the essence of the Tao. The more you know, the less you understand. The master arrives without leaving, sees the light without looking, achieves without doing a thing. 48. In the pursuit of knowledge, every day something is added. In the practice of the Tao, every day something is dropped. Less and less do you need to force things, until finally you arrive at non-action. When nothing is done, nothing is left undone. True mastery can be gained by letting things go their own way. It can't be gained by interfering. 49. The master has no mind of her own. She works with the mind of the people. She is good to people who are good. She's also good to people who aren't good. This is true goodness. She trusts people who are trustworthy. She also trusts people who aren't trustworthy. This is true trust. The master's mind is like space. People don't understand her. They look to her and wait. She treats them like her own children. 50. The master gives himself up to whatever the moment brings. He knows that he is going to die, and he has nothing left to hold on to. No illusions in his mind. No resistances in his body. He doesn't think about his actions. They flow from the core of his being. He holds nothing back from life. Therefore, he is ready for death, as a man is ready for sleep after a good day's work. 51. Every being in the universe is an expression of the Tao. It springs into existence, unconscious, perfect, free, takes on a physical body, lets circumstances complete it. That is why every being spontaneously honors the Tao. The Tao gives birth to all beings, nourishes them, maintains them, cares for them, comforts them, protects them, takes them back to itself, creating without possessing, acting without expecting, guiding without interfering. That is why love of the Tao is in the very nature of things. "52. In the beginning was the Tao. All things issue from it. All things return to it. To find the origin, trace back the manifestations. When you recognize the children and find the mother, you will be free of sorrow. If you close your mind in judgments and traffic with desires, your heart will be troubled. If you keep your mind from judging and aren't led by the senses, your heart will find peace. Seeing into darkness is clarity. Knowing how to yield is strength. Use your own light and return to the source of light. This is called practicing eternity. 53. The great way is easy, yet people prefer the side paths. Be aware when things are out of balance. Stay centered within the Tao. when rich speculators prosper, while farmers lose their land, when government officials spend money on weapons instead of cures, when the upper class is extravagant and irresponsible, while the poor have nowhere to turn. All this is robbery and chaos. It is not in keeping with the Tao. 54. Whoever is planted in the Tao will not be rooted up. Whoever embraces the Tao will not slip away. Her name will be held in honor from generation to generation. Let the Tao be present in your life, and you will become genuine. Let it be present in your family, and your family will flourish. Let it be present in your country, and your country will be an example to all countries in the world. Let it be present in the universe, and the universe will sing. How do I know this is true? By looking inside myself. 55. He who is in harmony with the Tao is like a newborn child. Its bones are soft, its muscles are weak, but its grip is powerful. It doesn't know about the union of male and female, yet its penis can stand erect. So intense is its vital power. It can scream its head off all day, yet it never becomes hoarse. So complete is its harmony. The Master's power is like this. He lets all things come and go effortlessly, without desire. He never expects results. Thus he is never disappointed. He is never disappointed. Thus his spirit never grows old. 56. Those who know don't talk. Those who talk don't know. Close your mouth. Block off your senses. Blunt your sharpness. Untie your knots. Soften your glare. Settle your dust. This is the primal identity. Be like the Tao. It can't be approached or withdrawn from, benefited or harmed, honored or brought into disgrace. It gives itself up continually. That is why it endures. 57. If you want to be a great leader, you must learn to follow the Tao. Stop trying to control. Let go of fixed plans and concepts, and the world will govern itself. The more prohibitions you have, the less virtuous people will be. The more weapons weapons you have, the less secure people will be. The more subsidies you have, the less self-reliant people will be. Therefore, the Master says, I let go of the law, and people become honest. I let go of economics, and people become prosperous. I let go of religion, and people become serene. I let go of all desire for the common good, and the good becomes common as grass. 58. If a country is governed with tolerance, the people are comfortable and honest. If a country is governed with repression, the people are depressed and crafty. When the will to power is in charge, the higher the ideals, the lower the results. Try to make people happy, and you lay the groundwork for misery. Try to make people moral, and you lay the groundwork for vice. Thus the Master is content to serve as an example and not to impose her will. She is pointed, but doesn't pierce. Straightforward, but supple. Radiant, but easy on the eyes. 59. For governing a country well, there is nothing better than moderation. The mark of a moderate man is freedom from his own ideas. Tolerant like the sky, all-pervading like sunlight, firm like a mountain, supple like a tree in the wind. He has no destination in view, and makes use of anything life happens to bring his way. Nothing is impossible for him. Because he has let go, he can care for the people's welfare, as a mother cares for her child. Governing a large country is like frying a small fish. You spoil it with too much poking. Center your country in the Tao, and evil will have no power. Not that it isn't there, but you'll be able to step out of its way. Give evil nothing to oppose, and it will disappear by itself. 61. When a country obtains great power, it becomes like the sea. All streams run downward into it. The more powerful it grows, the greater the need for humility. Humility means trusting the Tao, thus never needing to be defensive. A great nation is like a great man. When he makes a mistake, he realizes it. Having realized it, he admits it. Having admitted it, he corrects it. He considers considers those who point out his faults as his most benevolent teachers. He thinks of his enemy as the shadow that he himself casts. If a nation is centered in the Tao, if it nourishes its own people and doesn't meddle in the affairs of others, it will be a light to all nations in the world. '62. The Tao is the center of the universe, the good man's treasure, the bad man's refuge. Honors can be bought with fine words. Respect can be won with good deeds. But the Tao is beyond all value, and no one can achieve it. Thus, when a new leader is chosen, don't offer to help him with your wealth or your expertise. Offer instead to teach him about the Tao. Why did the ancient masters esteem the Tao? Because being one with the Tao, when you seek, you find. And when you make a mistake, you are forgiven. That is why everybody loves it. 63. Act without doing. Work without effort. Think of the small as large, and the few as many. Confront the difficult while it is still easy. Accomplish the great task by a series of small acts. The master never reaches for the great. Thus she achieves greatness. When she runs into a difficulty, she stops and gives herself to it. She doesn't cling to her own comfort. Thus, problems are no problem for her. 64. What is rooted is easy to nourish. What is recent is easy to correct. What is brittle is easy to break. What is small is easy to scatter. Prevent trouble before it arises. Put things in order before they exist. The giant pine tree grows from a tiny sprout. The journey of 1,000 miles starts from beneath your feet. Rushing into action, you fail. Trying to grasp things, you lose them. Forcing a project to completion, you ruin what was almost ripe. Therefore, the master takes action by letting things take their course. He remains as calm at the end as at the beginning. He has nothing, thus has nothing to lose. What he desires is non-desire. What he learns is to unlearn. He simply reminds people of who they have always been. He cares about nothing but the Tao. Thus,